kasama sa Toma eh.
Okay, at hindi natin alam kung naabutan ng nasa area yung sinabi ni Congressman. But anyway, yung pagtutuos po mahalagang ano 'yan sa ano yun sa saligang batas, that's called accountability. That is the fulcrum by which the consent is always validated in the social contract between the public and of course our agents in government, so to speak. So ang problema rito, how do you hold a public official accountable based on whether your votes are counted or discounted?
Alam mo, malaking issue yan hanggang ngayon, kapatid. At sana naman si Chairman Brillantes at saka mga kaibigan natin sa COMELEC ay natuto doon sa nangyari noong 2010. Kasi hanggang ngayon, may maraming mga question at lumalabas pa sa ngayon. Hindi naman, of course, sinasabi ni Chairman Brillantes na hindi naman maapektuhan ng 2013. Yung bang labanan between Dominion, yung may-ari ng source code, at saka ng Smartmatic, makaka-apekto ba yan? Sabi ni Chairman, hindi daw. Sana hindi. Yung bang mga hanggang ngayon hindi pa natatapos na pyesa dun sa paglilikom, pagkukumpuni nitong total na system, automation system, automated system, yan ba makaka-apekto ba yan? Sa tingin ko lahat ito ay makaka-apekto. Kung hindi nila matatapos lahat yan, maski na yung pinakamaliit na portion ng system na yan, laking bagay nun. Malaking bagay yun. As a matter of fact, kung natatandaan mo, Eric, nabanggit ng mga kaibigan natin at some point in time. Ito naman mga eksperto rin at saka nagmamasid. Ang sinasabi nila, baka may mga areas dyan na baka hindi na nga mag-automation dahil nga hindi makukumpleto eh. Baka mag-manual at lahat. Baka magkombinasyon. Yun ang mga titignan dapat natin, mamatsyagan natin.
In fact, sabi nila, yun ang magandang kombinasyon, manual at computerized.
Computerized.
In fact, some combinations, they're talking about national, there must be some mix between national and local. Na pwedeng gawing computerized, may iba gawing counting lang para ma-validate kung saan ang maganda. Yung pinaka-highlight sa 2012, yung corona impeachment. Ano ba na natutuhan natin doon?
Ang unang-unang dapat natin matutunan doon ay pwedeng maging ma-abuse ang mga...
Huwag kalabanin si Presidente, yun ba?
Hindi dapat ganon. Ang dapat natin matutunan doon kung paano natin may papatupad na maayos ang rule of law sa ating demokrasya. Yun ang aking nakikita.
Natupad ba yun?
Hindi. Sa tingin ko, maraming mga bagay na hindi nangyari. At hanggang ngayon nga, di ba, ang pinag-uusapan, in the final analysis, ang nangyari kay dating Chief Justice Corona, nangyari siya doon sa kanyang salin. Wala yun sa ano? Wala yun doon sa original articles of impeachment.
Yes.
At saka yung pagmamadali, tapos yung paggamit ng iba't ibang mga ahensya ng gobyerno. Kagaya nito, kapatid.
Dapat in-amend yung articles of impeachment.
Sana.
But in another process.
Ang nangyari, sinuggest na sa kanila yun ni Senate President. Why don't you go back? Anyway, you can file it. December, di tapos na tayo. At least, mas maayos sana yon. Hindi nga nangyari yon. For some reason, hindi nangyari yon. So, in a sense that may nagkaroon ng flow sa ganun. At ang nangyari tuloy, yung ating mga institusyon, parang nagkaroon ng konting breakdown. Pati yung paggamit ng mga ahensya. Hanggang ngayon, nirereklamo pati ni Vice President Binay, kung natatanda mo. Yung COA. Ano pa naman tong COA? Tapos na itong kaso ko. Hanggang ngayon, hindi pa nila ako tinatantanan. Parang ganun ang nangyari. So the institutions of government are being used for some other reasons other than their chartered and delegated mission. No?
Ano nakikita mo sa resulta ng Senate elections? More administration, more una candidates winning? Do you see a change in the Senate presidency?
Yung sa Senate presidency, I think, hanggang ngayon, matatag pa rin si Senate President. And I think, pagdating ng, June 2013, baka mas marami siyang kakampi kaysa ngayon.
Sa una, mas maraming una, ha?
Not necessarily una. Pati yung mga nandoon din sa kabila. Kasi kung natatandaan mo, Eric, doon sa kabila naman, LP, NPC, Akbayan, NP.
Okay.
Hindi naman necessarily lahat yun iboboto yung, halimbawa, LP.
Kasi
ang dominant ang dominant partner doon sa coalition na yun, LP eh. Sino ang pwedeng iboto nila? Senate President, for example, sa LP. Ang pwede lang doon, si Atty. Drilon.
Yun lang ang ano doon.
Yun ang kanilang pambato
Okay.
sa LP. Sino pa yung mga po pwede? Wala na eh. Versus the Senate President.
So you see Enrile continuing as Senate President even after June?
I think so.
Most likely, no?
Most likely.
Do you see Pinoy becoming a lame duck president after the midterm election? Hindi na.
No, he has proven that he
He can continue.
He can continue with much more energy and vigor.
How do you... Even if it is 2013, he can continue running after people. So that means they have to sit up and keep attention.
Hindi, ako nga nanghihinayang kay Presidente kasi kung yung mga energies niya, pati yung kanyang goodwill, na ipapasok sa hindi...
Sa positive.
Hindi masyadong contentious na issues. Baka mas maganda pang kakalabasan. Kasi may mga... Ang nakikita ko kasi kay Presidente, parang may mission-oriented siya. Ang problema lang, kung minsan yung kanyang mission, nalalagyan na napakatinding pamumulitika. At nagagamit siya for that purpose.
Are you happy with the current status of the party list? Or is that one of your, is that part of your platform of government that once you are elected, you are going to revisit the party list law in order to amend the powers of the COMELEC?
No, not only
or
that,
define it?
I think that particular law has really to be revisited.
Okay.
Maraming kailangan na i-define, number one. Number two, tingnan din kung paano talaga ang kalakaran ng mga party list. And there has to be certain levels of, aside from accountability, term limits. Ang sinasabi kasi ng COMELEC at saka ng mga iba nating kasama, the term limit applies only to the individual nominee of a party list. Sa tingin ko, it has to apply to the party.
Ganun ba?
Oo. Kasi ngayon, under the party list law, it applies only
to the individual.
To the individual
yes,
nominee. It does not apply to the party. Sa tingin ko, the party list precisely was put in place in order for a struggling party, for example, of a marginalized sector, to graduate into a full-blown political party. Yun ang issue, yun ang ano dyan eh. Hindi naman po pwedeng forever ka na party list.
Okay.
Hindi pwede yun.
Okay.
I think there has to be a term limit also for party list. As a matter of fact, yun ang dapat na i-define.
Marami kayong nag-iisip ng ganito? Ganito ang pananaw o ikaw lang ang nag-iisip?
Hindi, marami rin. Kasi yung mga iba naman, ang tingin nga nila, naaabuso.
So you mean to say, at a certain point, you have to graduate into as a major party list. So delisted ka from the sa party list system. Tumakbo ka na sa regular dapat.
Either tumakbo ka sa regular o yung party mo hindi na po pwedeng tumakbo sa party list. Mag-create kayo ng iba pa that can pursue your objectives.
Saan ang posisyon ng mga ano dito? Yung mga katulad nila,
yung
mga bayan, yung mga Gabriela, mga ganon.
Alam na natin ang posisyon.
Ayaw nila. Pero magagaling silang mga anak eh. So hindi dapat sila magreklamo dahil magaling sila magpalit ng mukha naman.
As a matter of fact, yun ang dapat nilang ginagawa. And then sila mismo should graduate already into a full-blown political party.
Pero ayaw nila.
I don't know kung ano.
Have you broached this idea to them and how have they reacted? Initially at least.
Ang na-bring out ko na rin ito sa kanila. Medyo ano sila.
Hindi pa nila napag-isipan to, no?
Napag-isipan din nila, kaya lang, since it affects them, medyo ano sila.
Wala pang posisyon.
Atubili sila riyan.
Okay.
Hindi sila masyadong, kumbaga sa ano.
Wala pang official position.
Wala silang official position. Pero sa amin sa Abacada, I will propose to our assembly, to our group, that becomes our official position. Sa leadership sa ngayon, we are coming to terms with that. Kasi, if there is a term limit for individuals, there has to be a term limit for party list. Precisely. So that that particular party list group can graduate already to being a mature political aggregation.
But I'll tell you, Congressman, wala ito sa constitutional limitations. But you are imposing this actually on your own to further refine the party list system, actually.
It has to be so.
It's an added burden on your part, actually. This is what you're trying to do to
Yeah.
yourself. Yes.
Kasi, ang tingin namin, if you are really concerned about your sector, the marginalized sector that you are representing, and you really want to do something about the maturation of our political system, you have to be amenable to this kind of arrangements. Kasi the term limit actually is a good arrangement.
Do you have a round figure? Do you have an X number? What is the number for you? What is the magic number for you that would say na at this point, eto na term limit natin? May idea ka? Wala pa?
Wala pa.
Okay.
Wala pa. But we will push this. We will push this as part of our activity.
But I can see that maraming kukontra sa ano.
Maraming.
But it is a I would even say it's not only sublime, it's a noble cause.
Importante 'yun sa tingin ko.
It is a noble cause. Ilan na ngayon ang party list? 80?
Hindi, ang accredited kasi bumalik yung iba na nakakuha sila ng Supreme Court stay order, aabot ng 133.
Are you looking at the possibility of trying to define in the law or trying to clip the powers of the COMELEC? Because, there is the possibility that after 3 years, another COMELEC will again review on your sector, on the very same party list, and probably say, no, we're
Hindi
going
na kayo.
to... Hindi na naman kayo, we will delist you again. And the ones that were delisted will be again... how will you put this into the law? Or
There has to be more specific standards and criteria for party list representation. When you say you are marginalized, what are we talking about? Diba? What are the sectors? Because previously, defined na rin naman yun eh.
Okay.
You define talaga yung sectors na yun. Kung ano yun yung mga marginalized or underrepresented sectors. That has to be put in place in a law. In a law. So that the COMELEC will be better guided. Importante yun.
How do you go about, Congressman? You have party lists that were voted upon by the people. That gives them the veil of legitimacy because they were voted upon. And now they're being delisted motu proprio by the COMELEC. Saan tayo lulugar sa ganung...
Kaya nga mabigat eh. Kaya nga, I hope that the Supreme Court will be able to come out.
Saan kayo lumulugar sa ganung issue? Pag kayo ang tatanungin?
Kami, siyempre nalulungkot kami na gano'n ang nangyayari. No? Ang problema lang, under the circumstances, the COMELEC has the power and the duty to do this. That is our dilemma.
Pero definitely, in the next Congress, when you get elected, riripasuhin nyo to.
Oo.
Puputulan nyo ng pakpak itong COMELEC.
Ang mangyayari doon, bibigyan sila na mas maayos na giya. Para yung kanilang pagtingin o pagtansya kung ano ba talaga ang dapat na mangyari as far as the party list system is concerned, mas naintindihan, unang-unang mas naintindihan ng tao. At pangalawa, yung pwersa mas tempered para hindi kagaya ng sinasabi ng mga iba nating kaibigan na nasa party list na parang nagkaroon ng grave abuse. Pero ang sinasabi ko nga, ang COMELEC, meron talagang yan eh. It is the constitutional...
may kapangyarihan talaga eh.
Duty and power.
Yung party list po ninyo, ano ba? Ano ba ang pinaka-main advocacy?
Education.
Education.
Kaya palagi, kung nakikita mo, abakada, edukasyon ang solusyon.
Yes.
Edukasyon ang pundasyon.
Okay.
At edukasyon ang pag-asa. Yun ang ating palaging binabanggit sa ating mga kababayan. Dahil nakikita natin that education is a continuing concern.
Yes.
It is a continuing undertaking hanggang sa mamatay ka. Yan ang natututo ka at naaayos ka lahat. At pangalawa, ito talaga ang tingin ko, this is the great equalizer. Education is the great equalizer in our society. So, importante na ito ay mapagtuunan ng pansin at mabigyan ng karapat-dapat na focus, lalong-lalo na sa atin lahat. Walang lalaban tungkol yan dahil kami halimbawa, marami sa aming mga miyembro nanggaling kami sa public schools. My parents are public school teachers.
Pati tatay ko din, public school din.
Kaya importante na mapagbuti natin na ito ang ating may bibigay na parang legacy natin sa ating mga kabataan.
Napansin nyo, nababasa nyo yung mga public hospitals natin napaprivatize, ano? Ito, inuunahan ko na lang, ano? Nakikita nyo ba na darating ang panahon, may magkaka-interest sa public schools at sasabihin sa publiko at sa gobyerno so that we will have an efficient public school system, so that it will be competitive, so that the backlog of public school classrooms will be addressed, we will privatize it.
May mga ganun nag-iisip, pero sa tingin ko, alam mo, kapatid, ganito Ako, hindi ako sang-ayon sa nangyayari.
O pagkakakitaan lang kasi dahil yun ang gusto nila.
Hindi lang yun. Ang aking kasi, government has a duty. There are basic services that government has to provide.
Correct.
Hindi po pwedeng ibigay mo lahat yan sa private sector.
Correct.
Dahil private sector, siyempre kikitaan yan. Ba't pa sila pumasok doon? Hindi sila kikita. Di ba? Kagaya niyan. Kaya from the very start, hindi ako sang-ayon doon sa nangyari, halimbawa sa power. Meron mga certain portions of the power system, of the power equation,
dapat gobyerno.
na kailangan gobyerno talaga may hawak niyan. Tubig. Mga basic services to eh. Infrastructure. Meron pa private, okay lang yun. Meron din basic yan. Lalong-lalo na education at saka health services. Mga napaka-basic naman ito. Kung hindi na kaya ng gobyerno na ibigay ito bilang isang gobyerno, para saan pa naging gobyerno? Hindi, privatize na lang natin ng gobyerno.
Pati gobyerno, privatize na rin natin.
Ganun lang gagawin pala natin. Kung sinasabi ng private sector, yung mga iba na magagaling na, hindi, mas magaling kami, hindi eh.
Tapos ang gawin natin, yung Kongreso,
Ano mo na rin yan?
doon na lang sila sa Ayala mag-opisina.
Ganun lang gagawin
Kasi
natin.
mas mura para wala nang building din yung Kongreso.
Hindi na kailangan magkaroon ng mga utilities at personnel, lahat. Ganun
diba?
ang nangyari. Huwag ka na mag-gobyerno. Ang nakikita ay sa pang ito, pag pinag-aaralan namin, Eric, sa aming party. Alam mo, ang nakikita namin na isang efficient, hindi wag na mamasamain ito ng ating mga kaibigan, isang napaka-efficient na sistema na nakombinasyon, hindi lang nangyari yung semi-parliament.
Okay.
Kagaya sa China.
Okay.
The National People's Congress
Okay.
is a conglomeration of elected local officials and representatives of the people.
You're talking about indirect elections.
Oo.
Okay.
Mas sa tingin ko baka mas efficient na workout yung ganon. They meet three months in a year and then go back to the respective localities, the respective sectors, etc. and implement what they passed as a legislature. Malalaman mo pati yun. There is an immediate response. There is an immediate interaction. Malalaman mo kung yung ginawa mo ba ay kalokohan o yung ginawa mo ba ay tama. Baka mas pwede yung ganon. Ngayon.
Pero ito itatanong ko sa inyo. Do you see in the radar the possibility merong isang malaking pamilya or may malaking korporasyon na magsasabing etong mga public school system, i-privatize na rin natin ito para...
Meron. Nangyayari. Yun na lang eh. Ito na yung ang umpisa niyan, kapatid, ang umpisa niyan, yung nangyari na ngayon eh. Yung classroom, yung PPP.
Okay.
Yun na yun. Mag-uumpisa na dyan. Yung curriculum, ayusin na rin natin to. Okay. Yung teacher training, ito na rin ang workout. Yung pagbibigyan ng equipment sa mga... yan na yan. It will... there is an effort.
There are some people who say that what is happening to our country, the business sector, is not actually a competition, but actually just a few families trying to corner the big-ticket items of contracts of our government. And then it's actually just a monopoly of all the possible public services that government can offer and simply privatizing them for their benefit. Tama ba yun?
Totoo yun. Ang nakakalungkot talaga yung ganyan kasi di ba palagi natin binabanggit, there are certain sectors, we call it the commanding heights of the economy, that cannot be ceded to the private sector.
Correct.
Hindi po pwede yung ganun. Government has to be government.
Correct.
Otherwise, why are we in government? Di ba? Ganun ang sitwasyon.
Kaya nga
Kung pati na lang yung mga pinaka-basic, ibibigay mo na sa private sector.
Kaya nga pati yung mga kampo, gusto rin nila ibenta lahat eh.
Oo nga eh.
Camp Crame, Camp Aguinaldo, yung dyan sa Philippine Navy, Ross Boulevard, plano rin nilang ibenta yan.
Alam mo, I hope these people are not afflicted by what we call the Middle Eastern thinking. The monarchy. Kasi sa ganito, mayroon kasing ganyan
Oo,
dati.
oo, oo.
Halimbawa, dahil sa ito naman mga mayayaman na mga bansa ito, and they are a monarchy. Sabi nila, ang nakipaggera daw ang Saudi Arabia, and then yung gera na yan versus Iran, for example, sinubcontract nila sa South Korea. Yung gera. Baka ganito ang gawin nila. Armed forces. Para saan ka pa, di ba? Defense, education, health,
Yes.
di ba? Infrastructure.
Yes.
Di ba? Kung hindi mo na rin na magampanan yan bilang isang gobyerno, at ang iniisip mo ay itong private sector na kaibigan ko, ito na ang titira dito, di para saan ka pa?
Pati itong, ewan ko, Congressman, kung nabasa mo, there was a full-page ad in many of the major newspapers. In Cebu, they're planning to build a new terminal.
Terminal,
Yes. But what people did not notice is the number 6 of the item, which says the concessionaire will be able to operate the entire terminal.
Kaya nga, alam mo.
Ang mangyayari dyan, magiging mall airport yan. Because ang hindi natatandaan ng tao, Congressman, is there was a plan, by the way, to transfer the Cebu Mactan International Airport.
Before.
And to sell the entire area. And the main runway would have been the main street of a new city, of a new mall.
Tignan mo.
The problem is, there is no other flat area in Cebu kung saan mo pwedeng gawing
yung airport.
International airport. So ngayon, phase 2 is to try to make the airport into a new, bigger airport with a mall within the airport for a concessionaire. Whoever will be the winning concessionaire to make money out of it.
Alam mo, kapatid, yan nga nakakalungkot. The other thing that we have to revisit is precisely itong maganda naman sana ito, build, operate, and transfer. We have to revisit this. Kasi the build, operate, and transfer law has been so prostituted that it's no longer done in the manner that it should be done. Yun ang nangyari dyan. Kaya
Congressman, tanong ko sa inyo, no? You have talked to a lot of politicians. You're on radio, you're on TV, you have been writing. Off camera, I talked to Senator Richard Gordon, and in one of his moments, he said, Eric, I'm tired of kicking the can. In short, inayos mo, pag-alis mo, pagbalik mo, sira na naman. Hindi ba minsan parang nakakapagod?
Hindi talagang, tanggalin mo yung parang. Talagang nakakapagod yun. Kaya lang, ang amin naman, yung sa grupo rin namin, at saka sa akin, personally, sinasabi ko nga sa mga kaibigan natin. Kasi kami, dun sa klase namin, sa class 72 na Ateneo College, sa Loyola, we just had our 40th anniversary, Ruby anniversary. So, sinasabi ko sa mga klase ko, mga mayayaman itong mga ito, wala silang pakialam sa mundo at lahat. Marami rin, pero nag-aayos-ayos lang sila. Ang sinasabi ko lang sa kanila, yung inumpisahan natin, first quarter, we are in our fourth quarter. This is the last quarter. What kind of legacy do we want to be remembered? Anong ending natin? Kasi marami kami, Eric, I'm sure sa inyong batch, ganun din. Out of the class 72, pumasok freshman. Siguro mayroon kami mga 15 na namatay.
Oh, man.
Oo. Billy Beg, yung mga yan, yung mga Sunny Hison, all of those people, all of our friends, no? They could have been very good business people, they could have been good priests, si Billy. Kaya lang, they went out of their comfort zones. Talagang lumaban sila. Kaya yung sinasabi ko sa mga klase ko, ano ba naman iiwanan natin? Okay, magagaling ang nangyari sa atin, magagaling ang mga anak natin, pero what kind of country are we leaving to the next generation? So, yun ang challenge ko palagi sa kanila at sa aking sarili. Yun din. So, at some point in time, siguro, baka ganito na rin ang mangyari sa atin. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin. Hanggang sa
We cannot quit being
cannot
Filipinos.
quit. No, we cannot.
Correct.
We cannot.
I am reminded before when I was in Channel 4, there was one cameraman out of a big sigh who said, and this is my way of ending, who said, Boss Eric, pagod na ako maging Pilipino. Nakakalungkot. But anyway, thank you very much, Congressman Jonathan. This won't be the last time. Next year, pagtakbo ninyo, maging guest ka ulit dito.
Hindi, pupunta kami dito, Eric. Maraming salamat sa iyo.
Thank you very much. And as always, ito po si Erik Espina, palagi po nagsasabi, magmasid, makialam, higit sa lahat po ay manindigan. Dahil wala pong magmamahal sa Pilipino kung hindi ang Pilipino. Daghang salamat, maayong gabi kaninyong tanan.